Death is a frequent visitor in raw nature, and Yellowstone Park, despite the cabins and roads, is raw nature. The park is the untamed and unfenced wildlife and the amoral energy of thermal wonders. It cannot be treated lightly. When it is, it erupts in death. We have seen other visitors in the park who left the paths and boardwalks. We have seen visitors in the park who sat their children on bears in order to take a picture. They were lucky. The park is not Disneyland Rocky Mountain version, nor is it a zoo with moats and fences separating the wild and the domesticated. For all the trappings of men, it is wilderness, and the man who fails to accept it as such dies. More money for more rangers to enforce the park's rules would help. But until that time, we urge all visitors and urge all Montana and Wyoming residents to warn visitors again and again to obey signs in the park, to remember that Yellowstone Park is wild. The park is raw nature, and it can kill. Editorial, Billings Gazette, July 1st, 1970. That sobering editorial summed up some of the dangers in Yellowstone National Park and noted that wilderness itself can bring death. Certainly no one who comes to Yellowstone expects death or injury to visit. Indeed, death seems antithetical to the reason for the park's being. Yellowstone was created in 1872 as a public park or pleasuring ground for the benefit and enjoyment of the people, and the park seems to proclaim life. But there are very real dangers in true wilderness, and that is part of our fascination with it. A longtime researcher of wilderness areas has noted in defining them that places where one cannot be killed by a wild animal are not wilderness areas. In fact, the word wilderness comes from wilder, a wild animal. Yellowstone National Park, of course, is managed as a wilderness area. Many visitors to Yellowstone and other national parks enter the gates with a false sense of security. These persons wrongly believe that the animals are tame and that the place surely is a lot like a city park with swings, horseshoe pits, golf courses, swimming pools, and total safety, a place where lawns are watered and mowed regularly, and fallen tree branches are picked up and carted away, all nicely managed, nicely sanitized. But national parks are not like that. They are places where nature and history are preserved intact, and intact nature includes dangers.